Right, today I'm going to fit these timber garage doors onto this new carport. We've got, they're basically gates, and rather than the traditional sort of long hinge that you would use on this sort of thing, we're going for what would normally be a ball bearing fire door hinge. As you can see, they're suitable for 120k, so they're more than suitable for this, and they're a decent quality door as well, so there shouldn't be any issues with the weight of itself. Obviously these hinges we have in stock, so it's not an issue. Right, first thing, we're going to get them marked out, get the hinges chopped in. Right, we've got 8 inches from the bottom on the bottom hinge, and then centre hinge is central to that main last in the middle, and then on the top hinge we're going 6 inches down. Standard sort of heights and measurements from the top and bottom, and obviously the middle one wants to be on the main supporting part of the door. So right, to get these marked out, whether you can see that there's a gap between those there, that should be the edge of the door. As you mark them onto there, we'll get them marked in, and then we'll get them, all 3 of them, chopped in. Right, we're going to chop the hinges out with this small router. It's basically a laminate trimmer, ideal for the job. You're only taking out sort of 2mm or so out of the depth. Obviously we could chop them all by hand, but there's 3 hinges on each door, and there's 2 doors to do so. So as you see, they're marked out there. Even when using the router, it's still always best to just mark, to go round, mark the lines in at the edges so that you don't get any breakout when you come to routering. Right, now the router's set up. Obviously you're going to be taking out on the edge of the door, so that's how the hinge is going to sit. So you see that's set to the right depth. The cutter's going to cut up to that gap that we've just mentioned, and then obviously the thickness of this hinge, they're quite thick hinges, they're quite a chunky hinge, about 2.5–3 mil, and then as you can see we've got that on the depth there. That's the depth the cutter's going to cut into, and if we just try that up against the door where we mark the hinges, you see off that face we're up to the line there, and we've got a gap which is going to obviously create the depth. Right, that's those hinges routed out. Obviously using the router you've still got to clean up the edges, so it needs squaring off in the corners there, but it's a lot quicker and easier with the router. Not necessarily neater if you're good with your chisel, but it's just quicker. So we'll get them cleaned out, and then we'll get the hinges fixed onto it. Right, the hinges cleaned up and cleaned out. See, nice perfect flush finish there. Get these drilled, get them all screwed on, and then we'll get them put into place. This one is the left hand side. Right, I've got it stood in position, so it's packed out at the bottom so we get some clearance, and obviously there's a bit of clearance at the top. They're not overly ornate, these things. They need a bit of clearance on them. They will move as well, they're softwood, so it's not bad to have a bit of clearance. Obviously there's another slab to go down there on the floor and things once these are on, and again they may need a little bit more cutting down once we come to open them and see how they work out on the floor. But as for now, we just propped it in position so that we can mark out the hinges and get those chopped in to the frame. Hinges chopped in. Let's get it on. So it all screws in, all flush and finished. Top one. Got a bolt to get on there now, but that's that first one swinging. Right, this is the hardware we've got for it. It's pretty basic. 2 slide bolts and just a normal latch handle thing. More heavy duty lasp for the padlock on there, and obviously we've got on here, these are pre-rebated, these doors. So you see there's a rebate all the way down there. They'll overlap once the second one's on. You see there's a nice little mould on the front of that one. Obviously that will lap over, and then we'll get the catch on the front and the bolts on the inside. So we'll get one bolt going up to lock that there, one bolt down for the floor, and then probably drill another hole on the outside so that when it's open it'll anchor itself on the floor. But we'll get this second door marked out, get the hinges chopped on, get it swinging, and then and come back to show you the hardware going on. Right, bolts on, holes drilled. Get that bolted up to there, and the second door is on, all chopped in on the hinges. Now there's a little bit of a twist, because these are softwood doors. You see there's a bit of a twist on that there. We can correct that with the other slide bolt on the bottom when it's anchored down to the floor. So now it's just the latch to put on, which gets drilled through this side. So you'll be able to obviously open it from the outside. Right, latch is on, latch is shut. Leaves it with coat of paint and then to get the bolts on, but all in all that's about it.